Hi, my name is Max and this is my 2012 Ford Transit Connect, and I'm in the process of converting this van into sort of an off-grid tiny home stealth camper thing. And so I'm not finished converting it, but I'm to the point where I'm able to sleep in it, and I figured I'd give you a tour. So let's get started. Starting with the outside, we have rain guards so I can crack the windows and get a breeze going at night. 300 watts of solar, and way in the back we have a max air fan. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot going on the exterior of the van yet. Eventually I want to have some security cameras, a backup camera, and some exterior lighting so that I can light up my campsite when I take this thing camping. But that's about it for out here. So I have my electrical system over here. It's kind of shoehorned in underneath my bed and my passenger seat. Back here we have the big 200 amp hour AGM battery. This thing has 100 amp hours of usable capacity, so it is in some ways equivalent to a 100 amp hour lithium battery. But I only paid $315 for it, so while it's true that it won't last as long and it is big and obnoxious, I think it weighs 130 pounds. It actually seemed like the right choice for me, at least in terms of economy. And then underneath the passenger seat, I have the B2B charger. I went with one of these because it has charging profiles built in, so it should be a little better for the health of my battery, and then also it is compatible with lithium batteries. So if and when I need to replace this battery, I won't have to upgrade any other electrical components. So that's nice to know. And this is my Renogy 30 amp MPPT charge controller. I found out after I bought this that this is actually a generic unit, and you can buy the exact same electronics from other companies. So I think Rich Solar makes one of these, and it's sold on Amazon. Same internals, and it actually has better wire terminals than this one. And I did find that the wire terminals on this charge controller were kind of cheesy. And then back here I have 3 cutoff switches, so I can cut off my solar, my battery, and the power from my alternator. So if something goes wrong, if something starts smoking, I can just go click, 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 turn everything off and figure out where I crossed my wires. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I've already found it really useful to have these cutoff switches so I can add components when the wires aren't live and what have you. And then these are 12 channel fuse blocks. I have 2 of them, which might seem like a lot, but I'm planning to put some cabinet lights in and chargers, and then I have, you know, my fridge, my fan, my heater, and it all kind of adds up. And I want to have some room to grow as well, to add other things as time goes on. So I think this was the right choice. All right, so we'll come in behind the driver's seat here, and as you can see, I've got a diesel heater mounted. The exhaust comes out right there. I've only used the diesel heater one night, but I've been pretty happy with it so far. And then you'll see I have both the LCD controller and the dial controller. This LCD is actually on right now, which is why I have the dial controller, because these fade over time, but they're also, in my opinion, an absolute necessity if you're going to be running your diesel heater at altitude, because you need to adjust the fuel settings so that they don't soot up. And then over here I have my Dometic CD30 drawer fridge, and it's pretty big, surprisingly big. I've got some LaCroix and asparagus in there right now. Overall, I've been pretty happy with the fridge, but as you can see, the build quality is kind of cheesy in my opinion. It doesn't close smoothly and latch smoothly, and there's just other fit issues that I'm not super happy about for a $700 fridge, but it does keep my drinks cold, so it's hard to complain too much about that. And then of course up here we have my bed. This bed goes all the way from the back door of the van to the passenger seat. It is 6 foot 3 inches long, and the width varies, but it's about 24 inches wide. You can see it's wider next to the sliding door than it is over there. And then underneath my bed, I have this storage compartment, which is open, and it's actually lighted. I don't know if you can see that. And that's where my skis are going to go. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then up here, I just have like a temporary electrical panel. This meter on the top shows you what my solar panels are doing, which is not much right now because the battery is fully charged. And then the meter on the bottom shows me the state of charge of my batteries. And then behind that ugly pillowcase, I have an LED light strip on a dimmer just to give me some lighting in the van for now. Eventually, I'm going to do LED strip lights all around the ceiling to provide a nice even light for the van. And then back here, again, this is just sort of a temporary setup. Obviously, that is not a safe way of storing a propane canister, so I need to fix that. And then this is a Flame King cooktop. It's cheap, but I think it's gonna work for me, so there's not a whole lot more to say about that. Next to the cooktop, I'm going to leave some counter space here in my final build, and then I will have a sink on the far side. And for the rest of the van, I've still got a lot of wiring to do. I'm going to build a storage compartment over the cab of the van, and then this side I want to have basically ceiling to floor storage integrated with like a countertop, a cooktop, and a sink. So that's all to come. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's my general plan and everything I have so far. So if you want to watch this build as it progresses, please feel free to subscribe. If you don't, then don't. All right, thank you.